South Jersey bad boys. That was like a very pretty deep, like it sounded like you're going to a very like haunted kind of church kind of thing. Like
I was gonna say country.
Oh. I heard like
I heard haunted church. That's weird.
Not even a haunted church, more like you go into like a really like dark church and like a haunted movie kind of thing, and nothing but the candles are lit and everything, like an exorcism type of movie.
Aren't all churches haunted?
In a way,
with the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, there is a bit of a. We're going to turn this into a Catholic podcast. Yeah. We're just going to bring on different bishops from the area.
Yeah,
and we're
just going to go through our favorite prayers,
favorite hymns, different updates to the Bible each week.
I remember that was a big part. I mean, I went to Catholic school my whole life, and we used to have to memorize. We would be graded sometimes in grade school on memorizing the prayers. And I remember one, it was like the Nicene Creed, which was that long
I remember that one, yeah.
And you had to memorize the whole thing and write it out. And it's like, this is so stupid. This is such like wasteful information.
Yeah, that we got graded on penmanship in Catholic school. I went to Catholic school up until 3rd grade, and then my dad was like, we're gonna send you to public school, feed you to the wolves, you know?
Yeah.
But like my Catholic school experience, they weren't trying to teach us as much. They were trying to teach us to forget things, you know?
Yep. That's kind of how the Catholics do it.
Yeah. My our priest that was in our
forgive and forget.
Forgive and forget. Mostly the forget part. Please forget anything that happens behind the rectory after school. Our one priest was found dead on Christmas Eve before Christmas Eve Mass. Like they were waiting for him to come, and they went into the rectory, and he was just dead in a recliner. He wasn't even old. He was like in his 50s.
What would happen? Murder?
They have no idea. I think it's murder. I think he was quite a
legitimately. It could have been a murder.
I think it was a murder. I think the legal fees were stacking up, and they were just like, we got to cut this guy out.
Get out of here.
He was a big boozer, apparently.
Maybe alcohol poisoning? I don't know.
Something like that. I have no clue, but it was like they were just waiting, and then they kind of came in. They're like, oh, he's not going to make it tonight.
Did they still continue with the mass?
Yeah, they had the backup guy.
Guys, reschedule.
Yeah,
God would understand.
They had the feature step in and did the headliner's job, and the openers, the altar boys, I was an altar boy for a little bit, and my dad would always watch because I would put the candle that you walked up with really close to the bathrobe I had to wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was waiting for a fire to catch out. He never told me to move. He was just looking, waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, he's like, this is going to be hilarious.
This is going to be great. He had the video camera out, just getting ready to send it into America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah. Altar boy gets lit on fire.
Lit on fire, and the priest would jump to it like, oh, stop, drop, and roll, and get on top of me and just roll around.
And just be trying to toss little bits of holy water on you. We don't have enough.
We don't have enough.
Somebody dunk them.
Wet robe contest.
I remember I was holding the candle as an altar boy, and after mass you'd process out.
Mm-hmm.
You walk down the aisle, and then you
turned around, you all bowed, you turned around again.
Yeah, and then you would come back and you would return the candle to the altar.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened to this thing, but I'm walking back and everybody's processing out, and the candle just falls apart. It was like this old, like metal, rickety, put together thing, and it just all fell apart. Luckily, it was blown out, but just like made the loud. You know how quiet churches made the loudest noise.
Oh,
everybody's looking at me, and I'm like, fuck, dude. Fuck.
And at that point, it's like
so embarrassing.
It's like you're not even old enough at that point to figure out how to spin out of an embarrassing situation.
Yeah, I just sat there with a red face, and I'm like,
man.
What the fuck, God? I just prayed for 45 minutes, and this is what I get?
Yeah. In our, I don't know if your church was like this. Mine was full of older people that must have never gotten the audition for American Idol, and they're just in there belting it. Yeah. They just thought they were just ripping like Whitney Houston.
Never a good singer though. Like
no, because they just hear. It's kind of like when you play a song in your car and you're singing to it, and you're like, I actually sound pretty good. But then if you turn it down, it's like it sounds like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's why. I think black church is different. I think black, if you go to black church, they have some legitimate, amazing singers. They'll bring the house down. Looks like fun.
Yeah,
actual entertainment. Like we have these boring ass white songs that are just.
But then they
haven't been updated since BC.
Yeah, yeah. They update the rest of the Bible, but not the songs or the beats or the instruments being used.
Dude, get Whoopi Goldberg in here and spice this joint up.
Whoopi Goldberg, isn't she a comedian?
Yeah, Sister Act. You never seen Sister Act?
Oh no, I thought you were talking about the View Whoopi Goldberg.
No, OG, Whoopi, Sister Act 1.
I thought I was
Sister
off.
Act
I was
2.
like, you're way off here. And I'm like, oh, no,
Dude.
actually, I haven't seen the film you're speaking
She
of.
was like the bar rescue for Catholic churches.
Mm.
She would come in and she would spice it up, and she would make the songs fun and give the nuns a little bit of rhythm. And next thing you know, the nuns are dancing and they're bringing in people because church was fun again.
Yeah, it was fun again. I've probably seen some clips of that movie in GIFs that I've searched on my phone and send from a. You ever send a GIF to somebody that's from something you've never seen before, but it's saying that what you want to say in a funny way in a GIF, and it's just that goes around quite a lot.
Yeah.
And just search it, and I've definitely seen her in like a black church garb.
It's really good. I highly recommend it. One of my favorite movies. Sister Act 2 specifically. One of the very few sequels that I think is better than the first. But yeah, Sister Act. That's Whoopi's best film.
Yeah. Huh. I liked her in Ghost.
Dude, fucking learn your shit. Dude.
I just knew she was a stand-up. Other than Ghost with Swayze, I don't know anything
that is
else
not
she's in.
Whoopi Gold. Is she in that?
Yeah, she's the one lady that like kind of mediates.
I thought you were saying like she was
No, she's the one that. No, she mediates the whole thing where she's sitting there and he's like behind her as a ghost, and she's just like creepily watching from the hallway.
Yeah, I guess Whoopi's been in a lot of films.
Yeah, a lot of films. Not too much recently. Sad.
She's out there making wild comments. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah. She gets in. I don't know how any of these people still have jobs on The View.
Especially because that is the place where they're on a network. Like they really are held to being like politically correct about a lot of things, and they constantly fuck up. Yeah. But then people with their own individual podcasts are getting canceled, and it's like, what about like? How are they getting canceled? Nobody's even listening.
It's so sad with a lot of podcasts that have gone so corporate. Like corporations are now starting to get in on podcasts being a big thing.
It's ruining it, dude. It's like
get corporate money in there, and it really waters down everything that's going on.
It was like Facebook in the beginning. When like Facebook just started to happen, and if you had one, it was really super cool. But then it just started to get diluted with like younger kids, and like then people just turned it into like their political views and their medical illnesses, and now people are like Facebook sucks.
Facebook's just like Xbox
it used to
Live,
be an exclusive.
Yeah, it used to be an exclusive thing. You needed an EDU email address to get on there back in the day. It's just like the Xbox Live lobbies before playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You were getting one of those back in the day, playing online with friends, where it's just everybody. As soon as
I'm getting back in them right now.
Yeah, dude, you're going to start getting roasted by these kids, but they don't do it as much anymore because they've clamped down and they're listening to stuff. I got booted just last year for telling a kid that I would fuck his mother. And I was like, wait a second. That was the lightest thing that could possibly be said in
a video game. Yeah, in a chat room.
Yeah. You know why they had to crack down on it? And it's interesting. It's actually just on Netflix.
Could have been the comment.
No, but there's stuff that was going on. Did you ever hear swatting?
Swatting?
Like SWAT team swatting.
Oh.
There's a documentary on Netflix. This has been going on for a long time. Kids that are playing online with each other. If you like really hate the guy, because you know how like passionate you get playing Call of Duty against people.
Of course, yeah.
You figure out where the kid lives. Either he gives it up or you figure it out through some type of hacking type of thing. And you call a SWAT team to his house. So he's playing the game, and it's a lot of PC players, so they're able to get IP addresses and stuff like that. And they call the SWAT team to their house. Like some guy he made a living getting paid to prank people playing online. And he would call and just be like, yeah, I just shot my mom in the face, and I don't know what to do. And then the cops show up to that person's house, and he's playing a game, and they raid the fucking room, have helicopters overhead. They all got guns drawn. It's happened so much.
What? So he would hack into the other person's account and then say it from their address?
I don't even think he would need to hack. I think they would just give it up because they would tell him, you won't fucking do it. Here's my address. You won't fucking swat me.
Wow.
And then he would do it. And this kid was arrested multiple times. He did it to this one kid. This one kid paid him to do it to this other guy. He gave the wrong address to the police when he was on the phone with them, so they showed up to some random person's house. The guy answers the door, and he came out, and he had a SWAT team outside, helicopters. They all had assault rifles drawn, or police, AR-15s drawn or whatever. They were telling him to get his hands up and get on the ground. He didn't know what was doing. He stood there for 7 seconds, and then a guy fired, and it hit him and killed him. And then
my God.
The guy's daughter killed herself eventually, and then her boyfriend killed himself because his girlfriend killed herself. So 3 people died from this guy swatting the wrong address.
Is he still doing it?
He went to jail for 20 years. This was a few years ago. But once he gets out, I guarantee he's going to go right back on there.
Wow.
So that's why I think they've clamped down on the things that can be said inside of the lobbies of Call of Duty and games like that.
Yeah, but it's not like you were, calling somebody to go there and actually bang the kid's mother.
Yeah. It's just people's moms weren't that crazy on Xbox Live back in 2005.
I'm starting to get back into gaming with my boys from high school.
Yeah.
And they were all playing, and they were in chat rooms, and we're in a group chat.
Yeah.
And they're all talking about the game. They're in the game, and I'm like, fuck, I'm left out right now. This seems like so much fun.
I feel like high school all over again. I'm left out of the cool thing. Yeah.
So I got an Xbox now, and I've been starting to play, and dude, it's a blast. Just like a fun get together during the week with your boys.
Oh yeah.
Talking shit.
Yeah.
Feel like a kid again.
Yeah. I always liked doing that when I was like living, when you would take a little too crazy when you're living in Philly or living in the city somewhere and you're going out and just spending shit ton of money at the bar every single week. I was like, how about I just get drunk at home and get wasted online and play video? Do that for like a few weeks and then next thing you know, you're back out at the bars again.
What sort of games did you?
Just like Call of Duty, pretty much. Grand Theft Auto, shit like that. The Grand Theft Auto Online, just people cheating too much. So we just stuck to Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And I was doing that too, but then it wouldn't let me download a new thing, and I got stuck, and I wasn't able to play it anymore. So
how good is the recent GTAs? Do you know?
The most recent one is still 5. It's pretty good though.
Yeah.
I still enjoy it.
I haven't played since like the original Xbox probably.
They haven't created a new GTA in years because they are just making so much money online, because it's just people go on there and they pay money to get new stuff or whatever, and they're just raking in tons of money, and they just set a record in Grand Theft Auto 5 when it came out. Wow. So the next one they come out with, I hope it's like VR goggles where you got those on, which we got to experience some of those. Could you imagine those, but like you're in a Grand Theft Auto world?
That's gonna happen like that, and that's gonna be so wild.
Yeah.
But then, is that a slippery slope? Like will people start to? They're like, oh man, this is. At first, they're like, this is crazy. It feels like you're actually doing it, and then it's so realistic, and then eventually, does that wear off? And you go, I need to feel the real thing, brother.
Yeah. I need to
ride the lightning.
Yeah, exactly.
And I gotta feel that flesh. And then they go out there and they just start banging prostitutes and shooting people and getting in cop chases, cop car chases.
Worst things could happen, but I mean, you're gonna end up like Jenny from Forrest Gump, where you're on the edge of a fucking apartment building with some Leonard Skinner playing in the background, and you're just like, I'm invincible right now. Yeah. Because in the game, you technically are, because you just respawn. It's like real life.
Yeah, you don't get AIDS in the game.
Yeah, no, you don't get AIDS in the
Jenny.
game. Not like Jenny, though. Nope.
Left poor Forrest and the baby.
She did.
All by themselves.
This
guy has a learning disability. You just left him to raise the kid.
It is a form of abuse, isn't it?
It's like this romantic movie, and then you rewatch it, and you're like, so she disappears the entire time, comes back, fucks him up real quick, leaves, comes back, fucks him up, and then just drops her kid on his doorstep and goes and dies on him.
Yeah, goes and dies on him, joins the Black Panthers or something. I mean, it was all over.
The Black Panthers. She was a hippie. She was a naked musician for a while.
Yeah.
Nude musician. I mean, she had been through it. I mean,
she had been through some shit.
R.I.P. Jenny. We miss you.
Yeah, we do miss you.
Based on a true story.
Well, speaking of sequels, how about a sequel to our Craigslist encounter last week that didn't go over so well, and I'm really pissed about it. So I went scouring through Craigslist again.
What do we got?
And what I found was a post of a guy offering in South Jersey a ride to Las Vegas on Friday, June 10th. I'm driving from New Jersey to Las Vegas on Friday, June 10th. Let me know if you're interested in sharing a ride all or part of the way. My phone number is this. And
let's call him.
This is from June 10th, 13 days ago. I've been wondering, do you think he made it there alive? Do you think, I mean, I'm genuinely...
Oh, yeah, so it already happened, June 10th. I would say...
I'm going to type in his number.
I would say he got no offers.
No offers, and he just drove by himself.
And he just drove by himself. I mean, God, how lonely do you got to be, guy?
Well, we're going to figure out right now exactly. Hopefully he answers.
What should we do? Should we just ask him like how it went?
Yeah, I'll ask him up. See.
Say a name?
No.
It's probably Rufus, if I had to guess.
Yeah, hi. My name is Rufus, and saw your post on Craigslist about having a ride from New Jersey to Las Vegas. I don't need a ride, and I know it was on June 10th, which was 10 days ago at this point. I was just calling to check in to see how it went, if you ever found anybody, how the ride was, if you went by yourself, what are some of the attractions you stopped at, is this a routine thing that you're offering? So yeah, I mean, feel free to give me a call back, let me know. Interested to hear how the ride share attempt went. Thanks. No one wants to answer the phone. How are you going to post on Craigslist?
On Craigslist, looking for somebody to go across the country, but you're afraid to pick up a phone call.
Yeah, can't answer a phone call. A lot of people are very shy. So why not post on
Clearly,
Craigslist?
this guy is not.
Yeah. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Man, imagine actually doing that.
Would you ever get in a car with a stranger you met on Craigslist to drive across the country
I wouldn't do that with somebody I know.
Yeah.
Drive across the country? Are you kidding me? Fuck that.
Yeah, unless you're in Due Date with Robert Downey Jr., then I would jump in the car and, pay my own way.
Yeah.
But this is just crazy people out there. Here's another crazy situation for you. A company in North Carolina will pay you $2,000 to release 100 cockroaches into your home. Being that you're a new homeowner, would you take up their offer of releasing 100 cockroaches into your home for $2,000?
I mean, fuck it, dude. We bought a fixer-upper. It's like we might as well throw a couple more bad boys in there and collect on this bitch.
Yeah, collect on it. It couldn't be any worse than buying furniture on Facebook Marketplace that had cockroaches in it anyway, right?
I bought a couch a couple of weeks ago. So I drive all the way to Manayunk to get it. I realize it does not fit in my girlfriend's SUV.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck. Like, what am I going to do? I can't get it back. It's like, it just barely doesn't fit. And I'm like, I can't close the hatch. It's a hatchback. So I'm like, fuck. So I called Dan Madden. I'm like, yo, are you home right now? Because it was like 2 minutes from his house.
And he had like 3 kids in his arms. He's like, I'm home, but I'm a little tied up.
Of course. He's always him with his illegitimate children. So I call him. Luckily, he's not breastfeeding. And he goes, yeah. I'm home. I go, look, I got a couch. It doesn't fit in Sam's SUV. Can I just drop it off at your place? So they're like, now I'm coming over to Dan's with a fucking couch.
Yeah.
His girlfriend Katie's there, who like I'm super tight with, and I've known her since college. And so it's cool. But like I'm like hey Katie, nice to see you. I'm bringing a couch in the middle of their fucking house. I'm like, you mind if I just keep this here for a second? I got to go get my buddy Mike's truck. Yeah. And she was like, I don't give a shit at all. She was like, leave it.
Bringing in a black leather couch or stains all over it. It's used in a few films. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's got residue all over it.
Yeah.
So I bring it in, chop it up with Dan. I'm like, let me see if my buddy Mike's home. Luckily he is. I go get his truck, come back, put it in the truck, go all the way back. So now I have the couch, and I'm like, I got to move it to the second floor upstairs.
Yeah.
It's just me and Sam. Now, Sam is not the best couch mover, to say that delicately.
I was going to say, it seemed like, to me, I would have thought that she'd have experience with
if you were starting a moving company, she would not be your first hire.
She'd be the one standing with a clipboard at the door, just pointing where to do stuff.
Yes, anything but the physical aspect of moving.
Yeah.
So we're moving it up there. It's me and I, she helps me out, and I put a freaking hole in the wall trying to put it up there. I get it up there, and then as soon as I get it up there, there was bugs in it.
Open it up and just bugs start pouring out like in The Mummy when all those things come flying out of Brendan Fraser. Yeah.
I just wanted to cry. I was like an adult man, and I'm like, I can't do anything. What can I do?
Yeah.
And I was like, it'd be really nice if I could just cry right now. Like that would be.
But you can't, because then Sam would just come over and slap you across the face and be like, suck it up.
Yeah. I was like, I'm like, oh, that's why kids cry. You just get stuck and you don't know what to do. And you're like so frustrated that you just start crying. And I was almost.
You're almost at the breaking point.
My mind was telling me, just do it, man.
Yeah. Luckily, the bugs weren't roaches or termites or anything like that. They were just probably, who knows what came out of those college girls living in Manayunk. What they did to get bugs inside their couch.
Luckily, this girl was super cool. I explained it to her, and she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, send her the pictures to show her I'm not bullshitting, and she sent me my money back. it was the hassle that was a pain, but that's my own fault. I mean, what are you gonna do? But let's get back to the story here. So what are they doing this for? Like an experiment of some kind?
Yeah, if they're taking applications for 7 homes up to a 30-day cockroach elimination study.
Oh, to see like how many they can get rid of.
The purpose
to do with somebody else's house.
The purpose is to determine how effective a new extermination treatment is. They must be 21 or older, according to their website.
They should have did that in our college house, and we wouldn't have even noticed.
No, it's like, yeah, you don't even need to bring the cockroaches over. We got thousands of those fuckers running around
just
here.
Just test the product, please. It can really help us out.
Yeah, come in here. Actually, spray some of that in the jungle juice. It might set things off a little weirder for tonight's lacrosse party.
Dude.
Oh, yeah. But they say at the end of the treatment, the cockroach infestation will be eliminated using traditional methods if it doesn't work.
I still, I'd be nervous they don't get all of them, you know?
Oh, yeah, no. Cockroaches are they're the one bug that people say can survive a nuclear apocalypse,
yeah,
right?
That's true.
They just come crawling out, and then that's what Earth is now consistent of, is these cockroaches.
Ugh.
And life would start over ground zero at your house where all these cockroaches just start
dude, I am
genuinely
afraid of cockroaches.
They're actually pretty nasty, big fucking shell. Yeah, those things.
I don't know
pretty.
what is it about them that is so terrifying.
It's kind of the name, just cock and roach, just put together. It's just a roach of a fucking. Oh,
yeah, dude, that's one thing I really hate about going to New York is, the rats and the cockroaches. People are just so accustomed to up there, and I'm like, I can't get over this.
Yeah.
They're just everywhere, dude. You walk out because there's so many restaurants. They all have their trash out in the street, and there's just rats and cockroaches. You're like, ah.
Yeah. No,
I
hate
skip over it.
Yeah, I hate that too. Luckily in Philly, you just have to step over homeless people. At least they're humans. Rather do that than cockroaches and rats and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
at least you can, you can give the dude a quarter or something.
Yeah.
Cockroach don't give a shit.
Yeah, cockroach will fucking take the quarter and pull a gun on you.
Yeah.
And we talk about funerals and death a lot.
Whoa, is that here. Melissa McCarthy?
Melissa McCarthy has really fallen off, and a woman was charged with a felony after spitting on a corpse in a casket at a funeral home.
Oh my God!
So
that must have been a terrible breakup.
Must have been a terrible funeral. What was the spread at the funeral that made her want to spit on the thing? I mean, must have been no money left over to spring for the bar package.
The fact that you went to a funeral and you planned on. And you made the effort to go there just to spit on it?
Yeah. She was 51 years old, walked into a funeral home in Tyler, Texas, walked straight up to the casket, spit on the corpse.
Did she know the corpse?
A witness at the scene said that she had animosity towards the family of the person in the casket.
Whoa, dude. How about a strongly written letter next time? A strongly worded note on Facebook, perhaps?
Yeah. Yeah,
fuck it, I'm showing up in person.
She probably had no connection to the person whatsoever, just the family.
Yeah, she was probably cheating. The husband was probably cheating. That was his lover.
Yeah.
And she probably was like, you haven't had a family this whole time? You know what I'm going to do?
I was kind of thinking that she doesn't she lives next door to a woman and her husband, and it was one of their grandparents or parents that died, and then she showed up and just spit on their grandparents or something. Somebody completely removed from the situation. And this happened on November 29th. A warrant was put out on January 4th, and then she was arrested June 5th. So,
damn,
I mean, what a timeline.
You can get arrested for that?
Well, yeah, it's a felony abuse of a corpse, which I think it's
I guess
debatable.
That makes sense.
I mean, I don't know why abuse of a corpse is considered a felony. If I abused you right now, it wouldn't be a felony, and you're a living thing.
That's true. It's like abuse of a living person. You would do less time.
Yeah, they wouldn't even be able to do abuse. Just suck it the fuck up. Quit being a pussy about it. Just move on. But if you go up and spit on a corpse, if you spit on a living person, you wouldn't be slapped with a felony.
That's what I was wondering. But yeah, it does seem.
I think this is something we have to test. We should go to a funeral home and just spit on a living funeral director, which most people probably would want to do anyway. The funeral business.
I guess the corpse is defenseless. I mean, actually, why am I defend? There's a million reasons that's disgusting to do.
We're sitting here pulling why is it abuse of a corpse?
I don't think we even really need to think that one. It's you should go to jail for doing that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of time. But imagine going into jail and just telling people I spit on a dead body.
But yeah, you're right. On a living person too. That's such a disrespectful, gross thing to do. You should go to jail for that too.
Yeah.
If somebody spit on me, I'd want that person to go to jail. You know what? Lock him up.
Lock him up. Lock him up. And there's just women spitting in guys' faces in bars all across this country every single Friday and Saturday night.
I mean, look at this. She looks like a lunch lady that just had too much, man.
Looks like a lunch lady that just was fed up with the assistant vice principal.
She looks like the fucking Hamburglar, dude.
Yeah, she looks like the Hamburglar that
jumpsuit.
Got the wrong colored jumpsuit. Oh, I mean, imagine not even just an orange one, but an orange and white striped one. How defeating is that?
Yeah. Orange is the new black really is taking a turn for the worse.
Yeah, and her spit was black because of all the chewing tobacco that came out of her mouth when she spit.
She definitely packs a lip.
Yeah, dude, the amount of skull that came out of her mouth onto that corpse. They had to have the makeup artist from the morgatory downstairs come up and wipe the face off because it just had it looked like tire marks on her face.
Ugh.
At least it was abuse of a corpse and not sexual abuse of a corpse. Do you think that's a felony?
I would say 99% sure.
Oh, well, I mean, what can you do? It's in Texas, America, freedom. I hope she gets out soon. I hope she gets out soon.
Hope for the best.
Hope for the best. And here's something I saw that was rather unique. Talk about inequality in the workforce these days, and I beg to differ because a girl made $2 million as the queen of sexting on OnlyFans. And she gives tips on how not to be a creep when sexting.
Oh, so she sex other people and
oh yeah.
You know how you don't sound creepy when you sext is you just don't be a man. It's not creepy when a girl does it.
No, it's not.
If a guy does it, it's always creepy.
Well, I guarantee you, if she's making $2 million on OnlyFans, she has a team of guys doing the sexting for her.
You think?
There's people that talk about that all the time. There's OnlyFans like workers where they apply and they do this for very low wages. Will sit on there and they'll do all the messaging from OnlyFans accounts. So it's probably just dudes talking to dudes.
Are they hiring?
Are they? Yeah, it's like this sounds like something we'd be pretty good at, right?
Yeah, man, I can get creative.
She's a former makeup artist, 35. She wrote a book called The Sexting Bible, and she thought OnlyFans was tacky a year and a half ago, and then she realized that she can make some cash from it, and then she became the queen of sexting. She was doing it for 16 hours a day. When I started my OnlyFans, it was during the pandemic. I didn't have anyone to do content with.
This is the Gary V of sexting, bro.
Yeah, she is the Gary V of sexting.
Damn, and this is her?
This is her. I developed sexting skills, and I needed something to stand out. So she used her OnlyFans empire.
And she is just being herself?
Apparently.
And she's just sexting with...
She has sexting sessions that last 30 to 40 minutes, $200 to $1,000. Would you pay somebody on the internet $1,000 to text dirty shit back and forth to?
No. You could do that with the old AIM profiles. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. You could do that with whoever. And now she spends 5 to 8 hours a day texting 10 regular clients that she calls her boyfriends, but she hasn't met them in person.
Jesus Christ, that's great money.
Exactly.
Maybe we should rethink this podcast model.
I think that we should just do it live on OnlyFans and just give people sexting advice. Here's her dues.
Man, I wish we could read some sexting from people and try to analyze it.
We could just go over it as if... I mean, we were talking like if it's a guy on the other end of her, sexting, basically sexting dudes, he knows how to talk to dudes, right? So
knows what the fellas want.
Yeah, she gives some advice here about what to do. Be open, create a story, have patience, don't send any dick pics, don't send messages that are too long, make conversation about everyday stuff, whatever. So how about like if you were to be on the end of one of her sexting, let's say you pay $1,000 to do a 40-minute sexting session.
But it's like, are you even getting naked pictures or?
I bet it's all SMS, just nothing but sex.
People have there's pornography out there. Like this just seems like to pay for any of this sort of stuff seems so crazy.
It does, yeah. Well, let's imagine that you're paying for sexting and I'm Amber Sweetheart. So how would you open up?
I'm not gonna role play with you. Literally role play.
We should charge money for this part of it. We're gonna do.
This is going up on Patreon.
Yeah. So,
dude, even the thought of that makes me sick. Dude.
I'll do a reverse roll. Here we go. All right.
And so all right.
I just open it up and I'll just be like, when was the last time you had any lawn edging done?
I would say. I just I would say fuck you. I was trying to think of
I'm thinking that if it's too
a weed whacker.
Yeah.
God, man, I am.
Well, I'm thinking that if it's a guy on
Dumb.
her end of it and a guy knows he's talking to a guy, you can just start basically baiting him with guy stuff. So you can just be like, oh, so like, what's your gamer tag? Like, tell me what your gamer tag is.
Yeah, but they're going to just turn that sexual.
So you just talk about straight, just like dad culture stuff.
Like I assume that was a euphemism for pubes.
Oh,
when
okay.
did you cut the lawn? So I was trying to think of something, and like that's how dumb I am. Like I thought.
It sounds like you might be right to be running her OnlyFans sexting operation.
As you know, I'm available.
See, I would go in there and just do straight up, just like, so do you wear socks with your Crocs or no?
Like, can we maybe do something more sexy here? Do you like your soup hot or mild?
Yeah. How do you like your steak done? It could get really, really graphic from a man's perspective.
It's always going to be graphic from a man's perspective. Dudes are creeps. All dudes are creeps.
All dudes are creeps. And that's what she said, was not to be a creep. But she didn't really offer up a lot of advice on not to be a creep. It was a lot of stuff that was pretty standard.
Yeah, it's like... Did she have like any commandments that she listed? Like thou shall not...
She's like, be as open as you
hog shot.
Be as open as you can. Create a story asking about my day. Have patience and imagination. And then she said, "Don't send dick pics. Don't be aggressive don't be aggressive or steer the conversation in a way that makes the person feel uncomfortable."
I should be doing this, dude. I would be perfect for this job.
What would you assume if somebody was sexting you? If a dude was sexting you, what would you say? You would say it was something that would make you uncomfortable. What would
was something that he would say to me?
Yeah, what would he say to you that you'd be like, "That's uncomfortable"?
I think a lot of guys probably just fire off a hog shot, like without even saying anything. I'm sure that happens all the time. It
has to.
And to me, it's like you're gonna lose immediately. That's a losing battle.
Yeah,
you can't just fire off a hog shot. Trust me, you can't just do that with no context. Like she said, you build a story or something. You can't. Nobody even likes looking at that.
Yeah, exactly.
You really got to work up to that, because that by itself with no context just looks like an alien.
Yeah. And then it's just some guys take it over the top. They think, oh, I'm not going to send a hog shot, so I'll just send a message that's really long and passionate. And she says, don't send messages that are too long. So I'd immediately be out of it, because I think right off the thing, if I'm trying to get to know somebody, I would send them a 3-paragraph, basically a novel that I already have saved in my phone about why Shrek 2 is better than Shrek 1. And that would just immediately turn Amber Sweetheart off.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be willing to have that kind of conversation. And I feel like we should spend $200 to see what it's like.
Maybe.
And just have a normal conversation.
We'll run it by the girlfriends and wives and
see if we can get them if we can get a hold of their credit cards. I would love to, do this as an experiment for the pod for research purposes. Yeah. And I did see this as well. A hidden swear word was on a headstone, stirred controversy in an Iowa community. This guy's headstone, he was quite the guy. They wrote, "Forever in our hearts until we meet again, cherished memories known as our son, brother, father, papa, uncle, friend, and cousin." And if you are to look at it in a straight line down, and CNN had to blur it, each line starts with F-U-C-K and then O-F-F. So it reads "fuck off" if you read straight down. And
that's poetic justice if I've ever seen it.
And it was obscene enough to everybody within the community. The community being inside of a cemetery, all of these dead people were really upset about the profanity on a headstone that they caused a controversy about.
He's already been canceled by God.
Yeah,
okay?
He's already
dead. So I wonder if he wrote determined what was going to be.
Yeah, he did. They said that he was a fun guy, had an odd sense of humor.
That's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, our intention was never to offend anyone. Who is the person that is offended by it? If I saw that, I'd be like, "Oh, that's fucking genius." Most people don't even realize it.
And who has to speak on his behalf? Like, look, we didn't realize he was going to do that before he left.
Yeah, but
we're really sorry.
Listen, we were held to
what he wanted.
We were held to a contract with this will and this
that's
estate.
Hilarious.
He had a certain amount of money.
I would do that.
Yeah, and look at that fucking headstone. It looks like a piece of plywood, that they just etched this stuff into, and people were offended by it. It's like, who's reading? Like, have you ever read a headstone in a cemetery?
Owens.
Yeah.
Doesn't even go with the first name, just Owens.
Yeah, just Owens. Doesn't even go that. No dates, no nothing. That's all it says on there. I've never read a headstone in a cemetery in my life because I assume they're all going to say the same cliche bullshit. It's like you're, listening to like a high school graduation speech where they just go up and they talk about the same shit every single year. You hear, the superintendent has to go up there and they got to really just show everybody that, like, look, I'm the superintendent of this school district. I'm going to give a 15-minute speech about cliches about kids growing through the school system.
Yeah, it's so bad. Those speeches are always, the graduations are miserable.
Oh, yeah.
Miserable.
And we're in graduation season right now, both high school and college.
Yeah, I'm never going to one.
Did you have a high school graduation party? We might have talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was, mine was just like, they were like, you did what was expected of you. You graduated high school. Bare minimum for an American kid.
I don't even think I had a college one, but I had a high school one. And you're like, that should be more of an accomplishment, and it wasn't. It wasn't.
Jesus.
College was way easier.
I love the high school graduation speeches where you go up there and you get the valedictorian, which most kids sitting out there weren't friends with the valedictorian, let's be honest.
Right.
Everyone's in their own cliques and you're just sitting there rolling your eyes just like, ugh. And they go up there and they just talk about how sad it is that we're moving on. They play that, sad Green Day song in the background. We had the time of our lives or whatever.
Another photograph of fork in the road.
They're playing a slideshow.
I'm never going to see you again. Yeah. Probably not.
Yeah.
I actually never liked you. 4 years.
It's like 10 years later, it's like you're not even friends with any of these people on Facebook anymore because they deleted you after the third comedy poster we shared asking to come to a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that usually does it. And friends list started dropping for quite a bit. My RAs from college don't even have me on Facebook anymore. I always like seeing that on Facebook where you have like memories show up, like the on this day thing.
Oh, yeah. It's a great reminder for what I have to delete. Whenever those come up, I'm like, holy shit. Okay.
I go in there every single day just to see what I need to delete. And if you're not doing that, you're a psychopath. But you go in there and you can look at the people, and I just hover over each profile because it's somebody from, 11 years ago. I was like, am I still friends with this person? I don't delete anybody on Facebook.
Yeah.
If anything, I'll just unfollow somebody so they don't show up on my feed. I'll delete people. And I hover over some of the names of people I've cherished a lot of memories about, or not about, with.
Yeah.
And then I hover over it and it's like, add as a friend. I'm like, what the fuck did I do to you?
Yeah.
It's like, happens all the time.
Yeah. And it's like, why? Like, it's just energy. The fact that you thought of it, like I haven't thought about these people in 10 years. So it's like, if you were to think of me and go, you know what, fuck Dan, I'm deleting them off Facebook. Yeah. It's like, okay.
Take them off Facebook. I'm going to find the passwords to my MySpace account and I'm going to take them out of my top 8.
Oh my God. It's a good reminder because I might still have a MySpace.
Does MySpace have an iPhone app? We can download that and get in there.
Oh, Jesus. I hope not. I think my 8th grade MySpace might be floating around somewhere out there. I gotta get a hold of that.
Get in there and delete it. Yeah.
See what old Brendan used to be up to.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. Like, it is unfortunate that we, to an extent, grew up with the internet because you look back, you're like, Jesus, dude.
Oh yeah,
like,
I would love.
It's embarrassing.
I would love to see some of the middle-aged or older people that are around there today that are talking about what kids put out on the internet, and it's like, what would you have said in 1964?
Thank God it wasn't even sooner. Like, and it was early. Like, I had MySpace like young.
Yeah,
but
that was like middle school. That was like 11, 12, 13 years old. And what kids are saying at that age should definitely not be projected on the internet for anyone to see.
Yeah, and at least back then, you were only kind of friends with like the kids that you went to school with. Like, my parent, it's not like Facebook where it's like, you're friends with like your aunts and uncles and stuff on there. And you're like, oh God, like, I don't want them to see this stuff. That would have been really bad.
Oh yeah. Eventually, some of the stuff did leak out or go somewhere. But MySpace was just all types of nonsense, just shit putting out there. And oh God, I feel like I had to go back and wipe it from the internet.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
I do enjoy when some music from back in the day comes up on my phone because I have a music library that I'll listen to, and it actually happened today. I'm out cutting the grass, right? I'm out there cutting it. I got some Britney Spears that came up. You know her song Every Time, or I think that's what
How's she doing?
I think she's doing pretty fucking well these days.
She's fucking wilding out, dude. She's free. She's naked on Instagram.
Free. She's posting nudes on Instagram every single day. Her dad's not telling her what to do. Do you think she's just been in like a... It's kind of like she's been in solitary confinement for a long time, and it's been since people were posting nudes on the internet. And now she's just like, all right, it's time for me to just pick up where I left off.
I think it's that. I think that she's like, this is a statement that I can do whatever I want, so I'm going to do some wild shit, show my tits and get naked on Instagram if I feel like it. And also, I think she doesn't understand the internet. It's like somebody who was in jail for 20 years and they come back and they're like, you guys drive now? You know, like back in like the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, because she comes out and has her wedding and she has like a bunch of people that, you know, were once big things many years ago. I guess most of her family didn't get invites, so then she was able to spread it. Some Iranian model guy.
Huh.
He's a pretty jacked fucking Iranian.
Really?
Yeah. They got married, and I think Madonna was there. That's Paris Hilton was there.
Good protection.
All these people.
She needs somebody who could beat the shit out of her dad.
That's why that guy's been so fucking quiet, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm out there listening to some Britney Spears, and my neighbor was coming up and talking to me, and I had my headphones in, right? You ever have an AirPod? And AirPods, when you pull them out of your ears, they're supposed to stop playing so that it doesn't go onto your phone. This time, it didn't. So I could take out both my AirPods, and he's coming over there, and he's like about our age, and then all he hears is this Britney Spears song that I was playing. And it was right at the point in every time, like right at the chorus. Like here, I'll even play it right here.
I'll download Britney right now.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. This is like every 6th grade roller skating party.
Yeah. This right here is what played.
They would have the different technical.
Here we go. This is what played when he came over. All when I took out my headphones, this is all he heard.
I need you, baby.
And it was just one of those awkward, like, he was looking.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, he kind of wanted to be like, how'd you get a hold of my daughter's Spotify playlist? Like, wanted to just say something real.
Britney's good, dude. Britney fucking brings it, bitch.
She fucking does.
She's back.
Still bringing it.
She's back, bitch. She's
fucking
great.
Love me some Britney.
Love some Britney.
And we didn't get a call back from our Craigslist hottie this time either.
Next pod we'll line up a few, and we'll put some calls in. We'll start cold calling.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put stuff out because we're just gonna have to start calling people. We'll have to call other people we know and just see where we can get with some of these things.
Yeah.
Is there any open mic slander do you want to throw out there into the world at the end of the episode?
No, these bitches know who they are, and I don't.
They just
I don't want to give them the time of day, and you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. We're about to get a bunch of hate mail now. They're gonna mail it into our P.O. box that we didn't set up.
I am going to start hitting some mics soon, though, because it's been on hiatus a little bit from the mics with the house shit, but I'm getting back.
With those cockroaches coming into the house, now I'm going to go hang out with some of these cockroaches in the bars.
And I think I'm going to just toss out a bunch of shit and start from scratch. We'll see.
It just starts from scratch. Just what can you do?
Yeah.
Just get it going from there. Maybe we'll get some good material from Craigslist. We'll see what can happen. But
all right, bitches.
We'll see you at the next open mic. Bring a cockroach.
South Jersey bad boys, baby.
Yeah.